Hi. During my visit to the Great Scale Train Show in Timonium, I noticed this little guy, and I've actually never really seen one in the UK. That is until I came across one in a model shop, and it was second hand, it was very beaten up, it was £7. I couldn't resist it. I was thinking, I've always loved the Walther's Cornerstone Union Station, but this could be a suitable alternative, and that's what we're going to look at in this video. Having acquired the model, and as I said it was in a reasonably bad state, I decided to top and tail it because it was way too big and way out of scale, so I cut the top parapet off and the bottom stairs off. So I was left effectively with this. From here I had a number of options to explore. By cutting it this way and removing the top parapet, I thought it was actually out of scale and too big for N scale, so I decided to do something a bit more drastic. I decided to chop it this way, keeping it in scale and making it more manageable, a much more manageable size. At this point, this is what I was left with. So we have this is now in pieces. Let's now see if we can cut across this line here very carefully. I've already scored it. I'm going to score it deeper and hope that it snaps cleanly. I wonder if it's easier just to pop the windows out. No, they don't. They're very. That one did. These are very heavily glued in. Whoever glued these in made an absolute mess of the window glass, as it were. So I'll have to take that off anyway. That's quite common in models that you repurpose. Okay. This side. Just checking the level. It's going to be that level there. And what I'm hoping for is it will just very cleanly snap, or the whole project will fail at this point. Needs more scoring. Okay, not clean at all, but these can all be cut off. Actually, it shows how thick the plastic is. Okay, that's not bad. Unfortunately, that's pretty much the easiest piece to cut. The other pieces are going to be much more challenging than this. That's not bad. Managed to take this off. It doesn't matter if there's swarf left on the top because that can just be cut off. This is the dangerous bit where the corner can be damaged. So I'm going to try very carefully take it off bit by bit. Now that last bit, put this on the edge of the table very carefully and score it. Very deeply. And that's it. All I need to do now is tidy up all these edges and then I'll have the most difficult piece to do. See if we can carefully take this apart. Oh, that doesn't matter. Okay, I managed to get actually 4 of the big windows out, which is great. This one does not want to come out without damaging the wall, so that's quite annoying. Just too much glue was used. I shall continue to score in the hope I could snap each piece carefully, otherwise again anything goes wrong, the whole project is ruined. Trouble is, if you look at the back, the plastic is thin, then you have thicker parts, which makes it much harder to deal with. So, just have to try our best. Okay, well that came off roughly okay. I've got to be very careful with this because it's pulling the plastic off the model It's been so heavily glued in, I can file these down one by one, and that's that phase done. Okay, so now I need to try nipping carefully the tops of the windows off that I don't need, so I can reuse these windows. Right, let's just test fit them to make sure they look okay. And the idea is there should be a strip of plastic covering the top anyway, but yeah, they cover the bottom bit, and they look a lot less, well, they look a hell of a lot less larger than these, which are, to me, are like cathedral size windows. They're Grand Central Station windows. They're a bit out of scale. So yeah, that's good. Put them to one side and look at the next phase. Well, the next phase is basically glue the modified windows back in. I've started to glue these in, put some weights down for a few minutes and see where we get to. Okay, so the windows are glued back in, and I've added these tiny little wooden cut doors to make it look like there are doors on this side of the building. They're really quite nice. Got them off eBay very, very cheaply. So, what to do with this piece? As luck would have it, Ratio make windows that almost exactly fit this. So I've spray painted them a sort of similar colour. I think I need to go over them a little bit more, to be a bit darker. Then with a tiny bit of sanding, they actually fit exactly just like I did here. Okay, so as you can see, the windows are in a nice bronze colour. I decided to block off the top windows. Actually doesn't look too bad because we're using the same brick from spare bits of plastic that we cut off. But yeah, that's that side done. That side's effectively done. And now the next step is to think about what we're going to do around the edge. So I'm thinking of using this stuff, which is rectangular tube from Evergreen, and it effectively looks like this, cuts quite easily. Either put it around that sort of side, or maybe have it more like that side and then somehow deal with the roof on top. So that's the next stage. I guess the whole point, I got the idea this looked like a Grand Union type station, was the actual portico. So the bank's portico is this, that was on the front, and obviously now it doesn't fit. So what are we going to do with this? So this part actually just comes off anyway. What I'm thinking is either cut it that way, or more likely just simply cut it that way and make sure there's a bit of an overhang at the front, and it should look absolutely fine. So let's do that. I shall try the same method as before, scoring it, and then I'm really hoping it will just snap. I'm scoring it ever so slightly above the dots or the lines I marked, so that if there's excess you can sand it down. Now comes the moment of truth where it all goes horribly wrong. Let's snap fairly cleanly. That one. And that one. Right, let's see how they look on the front. So yeah, that's okay. I'll just sand them down, and that's that. Okay, we're just gluing the sides, waiting for all to dry. And now we'll use this plastic hard sheet for the roof. This stuff is excellent. I'm not sure which brand it is. It might be Slater's Plastic Hard, but it's very, very good. It's very inexpensive. It's shiny on one side and matte on the other. This is actually quite thick, but thinner stuff would have been fine. And then the idea is we put these tubes around the top of the roof. So I'm hoping I have enough of these to go all the way around. And that's literally it. And then if you want to, and I do have them somewhere, but I haven't got them right now, you can decorate with Walthers make this really cool roof detailing set for N Scale, which is very, very good and totally worth the money. Or you can 3D print something. So yeah, that's the final plan. It's basically to get these around the roof, paint it matte black, and see what it looks like. So I'm going to go out and spray this now, and then we'll see what it looks like. Now the outer part of the roof perimeter is painted on both sides, just so you can see from underneath. And now we just do the black tarry roof. We do it with a sponge. It will probably look more realistic, hopefully, rather than spraying it. And it doesn't matter if you get the inner side of the perimeter black, because actually that's the way it would be, because it would be tar that would be like tanking, so it would go up the edges. So and that's it. I had a little detail on the front. I put some nice little wooden cut doors there. Platform would probably go on this side, and I would use these really good thick it's styrofoam with foam in the sheet with foam in the middle. Sheets, perfect height for a platform. Just paint them grey. That would go there. And yeah, I actually think that's not half bad from HI to N. Tell me what you think. It can be done. You could further enhance with roof detail, roof skylights and things like that. And of course, if you lit it inside and put some really nice detail inside, you would just about to be able to see it. So there we go. From bank to mainline station. Thanks for watching.